Okay. Hello and welcome to this session on marketing management. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Hasan GILANI, a principal lecturer and a course leader at University of Brighton. Some of my education background, the bottom one is a PhD. I've got an MPhil and MBA and gold medals on economics, and I've been teaching in marketing for the last 17, 18 years. I've been working in the industry, in the FMCG, which is fast-moving consumer goods industry, and marketing and brand management perspectives. I've been working for the companies like Pepsi Cola, Motorola, Debenhams, and Marks and Spencer. So I have a good experience of the industry and the academic world. My research interests are brand management, marketing, employee branding, retail branding, and Islamic finance. So that's just about me. And then what about the course? This course is divided into six lessons of 45 minutes each, shown in 3 sessions of 15 minutes each. Each lesson is followed by a Q&A session, question and answer session. Each session, which is the purpose of revision. Each session of Q&A would constitute 15 minutes over a 45-minute sequence. The course is accompanied by text and audio visual materials and the course guide in the study pack. By completing this course successfully, you would learn how to manage a marketing plan for a company to acquire optimum results. The key issues or the key features of the course is that the course highlights the growing importance of marketing in the companies today, in the business world today. It will introduce you to the key principles of marketing and demonstrate how these can be managed and applied to improve marketing effectiveness and your company's performance. Basically, the idea is to introduce you to the idea of the concept of marketing, how companies manage the marketing, how companies do marketing, how companies plan the marketing, looking at the consumer buying behavior, looking at the way consumers purchase, looking at their purchase intentions, looking at the way they approach a brand, and how would they make sure that brand is perceived correctly by the consumers. The course explains the nature and purpose of marketing, followed by the fundamental of each of the most important marketing tasks. It would analyze the businesses. It would look at the consumer's need. Why would a consumer or customer come to a business? And how can that company actually look at the consumer's needs and prepare a marketing plan accordingly and build marketing opportunities? At the end of the course, you should be able to understand what marketing is and how it works, how it improves your company's profitability, and how you are able to compete with your competitors. You'll be able to participate with increased confidence in the work of your department by understanding the role of and importance of marketing within your company. You would be able to develop a good understanding of marketing skills and knowledge that combine principles of marketing strategy and tactics to successfully manage and deliver marketing plans. This knowledge of marketing principles can be used for your future careers. You can develop those skills further on and become a marketing expert within your companies. Students who complete the lesson will learn about the following. So just to give you an idea about the content of what we have for you in this entire this lesson today. We talk about the importance of and scope of marketing management. We talk about the very basics of marketing mix. We talk about strategic marketing plan and overview. We look at marketing analysis and selection. We look at marketing environment and what is the environment for marketing. What do companies need to look at the environment? Look at the micro and macro components of a marketing environment, and how would that impact on the decisions made by marketing managers? We look at the marketing segmentations. How do we divide the market into small sectors and small clusters and position ourselves in those small sectors? Most importantly, we look at the buying behavior and the consumer versus company buyers, and look at how the B2B or B2C customers work. So that's a topic we cover later on. So let's start with the first one, introduction. Let's introduce on the very basics of how do we manage marketing or marketing management. As much as I personally don't like definitions, we have to understand them. Philip Kotler, one of the maestros, one of the authority academic on marketing, says marketing management is a process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational goals. Now, very long definition. How do you remember this? I'll give you an easy hint. Divide or dissect the definition into small clusters. Pick up the buzzwords. What do you think are some of the buzzwords in these 4 sentences of the definition by Philip Kotler? I'll give you some hints. It talks about the process. Is a process of planning. So marketing management is not just activity, it's also what you plan carefully. And then once you plan something carefully, you have to execute it. Execute the conception that you planned properly. About what? About the price of the product? About how would you define the price of the product? Is it $5.99 or £5? Okay, or $5.50? How do you promote the product? Today's world, you talk about where do you promote it? Social media marketing, internet, TV, magazines, newspaper, mobile phones, okay, on different platforms, different social media websites. How do you distribute this idea? How do you distribute the products? How do you distribute the goods and services? How can a customer access your product? Can I buy it from eBay? Can I buy it from Facebook? Can I buy it from your website? Can I buy it from a third-party vendor? Can I buy it from a online retail store? Can I buy it on a vending machine? I have to, and that's all a plan of marketing, okay? And most importantly, to create exchanges that satisfy individual. Exchange doesn't always mean exchange of money. Yes, the basic rule of law is that you give money, you get service and goods, but that's not the only thing. Exchange also occurs when the member of staff of your company is talking or interacting with the customer. A bit of brand has converted from the staff member to the customer. That's really important. So what Philip Kotler is trying to tell you is, it's about the planning. It's about what do you need to plan for. Price, promotion, distribution places, and exchanges. And again, remember at the very end he says, individual goal, which was, I paid for something, I should get that. Or the company goal is, we gave you a service, we need the money back from that, and hopefully you'll come again. Okay, so both goals are different, but yet interconnected. Marketing management has the task of influencing the level, timing, and composition of demand in a way that will help the company achieve its objectives. Now again, long sentence. Let's break it down. Influence. Marketing management is influencing. Now there are 3 things he mentioned. Level, timing, and consumption of demand. What is the level of demand? How much do I need? Is it urgent need? Can I wait till tomorrow? Or I need to buy it today? Or maybe I'm planning to buy it in a couple of weeks' time, depending on the urgency of your need. Timing of your demand. When are you demanding it? What particular time of your career life cycle is the demand occurring? And composition. What is the demand? So marketing management influences, for example, we see advertisements on TV. When it's very summery, hot weather, we see a TV or billboard on a bus stop, on the town center of a freezing ice cream or a very chilled drink. You feel the thirst. The demand is you have a demand now of a fizzy drink, of a chilled drink, and that's the intensity there. Many companies do, bakeries particularly, they actually emit their fragrance of the baked cheese and baked goods, baked bread on the high street. So that when people are walking on the high street, they smell that smell of bakery or the smell of burnt cheese or burning cheese or baking cheese. The demand is, I must have a croissant, or I must have a pizza. And that's creating the demand. So marketing, that's a marketing technique. Marketing is influencing your creativity of demand, and how the time of the demand, of course, and how much are you urging to fulfill that demand in the way that will help the company achieve its. The objective of the company is to bring more customers and keep the customers for long. Now, look at the very bottom. Goals. Attract new customers by promising superior value. 2 very important things. What does marketing do? It creates the attractiveness. You have to attract the customers towards you as a company. Okay. Number 2, within that sentence, how do we attract them? Promise. Marketing tells you, if you come to us, we'll give this to you. If you come to us, we'll give you a fantastic product of, let's say, chilled drinks, and it's got good flavors and good quality of liquid in there. Number 1. Within that second point, they're interconnected. How do you do that? You keep and grow current customers, but deliver satisfaction. Remember, every time you make a promise, what's the second part of it? you must fulfill that. You must deliver what you promised. So you promise in marketing, but you deliver and you grow your customers once you deliver that promise. So you promised a particular quality of a smartphone, particular quality of features of your gadgets. You must deliver that because that's what the customer expects from you. If that goes wrong, everything goes wrong. So you must be able to deliver what you promise. Going further, and this is where the demand gets more in depth now. Remember we discussed the levels and the composition of demand. This is the dividing the demand into three different levels: need, wants, and desire. If you understand this session, this one slide, this one particular discussion about what needs and wants and desires are, you would understand how consumers behave. You understand how we behave. And once you understand how people behave in the buying scenario, you can wear a marketing hat on and you can say, I'll manipulate this and I can convert this into a customer. What is a need? A need is something you must fulfill. State of felt deprivation, which includes physical, social, and individual need. Our needs is food. We need to eat food to stay alive. We need to have clothing to stay secure, shelter, safety. Those are very basic needs. Social needs are, family, friends, mates, work colleagues. Individual needs are, I need to when I sit on my own, where do I stand? What do I think? What do I read? My own personal stuff. So I have different roles to play in my life. If I'm a father, if I'm a brother, if I'm a son, if I'm a friend, I have different needs and different needs to fulfill. That's a need that must be fulfilled. It's not that if I'm hungry, I need food. That doesn't mean that I have to have a buffet or a pizza or a Big Mac or maybe a boiled rice. All of these three things would fulfill my needs. So my need is food, not a particular item. Want. Want is a level after you fulfill your need. A form that human needs takes as shaped by culture and individual personality. A want, for example, would be if I'm hungry, I can have a loaf of bread or a toast or whatever's in my fridge. But I'd rather want to go to McDonald's and have a Big Mac. Just an extra thing, because I can, number one. Okay? Desire is something more luxury. It comes after you fulfill your need. It comes after you fulfill your want. Now, because you can, you fulfill your need and wants by the buying power. So if I'm again hungry, I could have opened my fridge and had a loaf of bread and make a toast or sandwich, for example. I could have gone to my local store or fast food and get a burger. But no, I want a luxury buffet at a 4-star, 5-star hotel. Or maybe Nando's, for example, because that's number one, I have the buying power. Number two, because that's how I want to fulfill my needs in that particular way. Now, putting these three things in the context of a marketing manager, look at the need, want, and desire. What do you think is a marketing manager's objective? Should they aim at need? Should they aim at want? Should they aim at desire? Any ideas? So the answer is needs would always be fulfilled. As a marketing manager, you don't need to worry about needs. If somebody is hungry, they would always buy food. What your job is to convert their wants and their desires into a need. I'll give you an example. How often do you see a lady's handbag on sale in a TV advert, and someone says, "I want that handbag," or "I need that handbag"? That's a desire. You already have 5 handbags in your cupboard. But because that's half price, it's a good brand, the marketing technique, or however you marketed that item to the customer, potential customer, you've converted that desire or a want into their need. They must fulfill that. That's what marketing does. Smartphones, the best example. The new smartphone comes in, iPhone 13, Samsung S20. Though you have S10s or iPhone 12 or 11 or 10, whatever you've got them with you, okay? But you still say, I need that phone. You don't need that. You already have a smartphone that fulfills your basic needs of communication and social media and whatever you need the smartphone for. But because you've seen an advert that is so appealing to you, you actually have they've converted your desire into a need. And that's what a good marketing plan can do. A good marketing plan should aim at how can we convert the bottom to wants and desire as a customer's need. Because what does a need do? You have to fulfill it. You have to beg, borrow, steal, well, not steal, but find the money, find the expensive, and find the budget to buy a particular item because you are convinced by the marketing plan that has become your need now. So marketing concepts. This is again sort of giving you a history. How did marketing evolution happen? How did it evolve from the very beginning? In the initial days, the philosophy was you just do production. You actually produce so much. The philosophy that consumers will favor products that are available and highly affordable, and that management should therefore focus on improving production and distribution efficiency. This is 100 years from now. If you look at old movies and old documents, that's all they did. Manufacturing industry, you manufacture an item, loads of them, and you have salesmen who would sell them for because they believe that if we produce them efficiently on a good price, people would buy them. That's an ancient theory. What came afterwards was the product concept, which is, yes, people would buy, but you have to give them the features in the product. So new flavors came in, new packaging came in, new quality of the products came in. And the salesman would talk about the performance of the product, the features of the product, characteristics, the size, and everything around that. So it converted from production concept to the product concept. Then came the push and pull theory, which was the consumer would not buy enough of the company's products unless you actually sell them. You have to have the promotional efforts. So if you look at ancient videos or read books, you would have even any culture, any country in the world, you'll have traders walking or with the horse carts or donkey carts or the coaches with lots of goods and products in them, and going from town to town, trying to promote what they have new in the market. That's a selling concept. That's where salesmanship or salesperson's job came into being. After that, more recently, I'm saying 50-ish years ago, the idea became into marketing concept, which is that you need to promote something. You need to promote not just, again, the same discussion, converting wants into needs, talking about the brand, talking about TV advertisements, all that came into being, looking at the target market, create the buzz about the product, and then sell them on that. That was, again, more customer-oriented marketing concept. But most recently, I'm talking about 7, 8, 10 years ago, we have this societal or social marketing concept, which is, apart from consumers' wants and needs, what the current target market needs is how does this product, for example, every smartphone or every vehicles that we see in the world should have a CSR or social responsible position. For example, smartphones, what happens when you consume or use a phone with the batteries, because the batteries need to be recycled, otherwise they damage the whole society, the environment around you. Similarly, smart cars, we have this internal combustion issue of CO2 emissions. And how would that be avoided? We have all these new companies talk about we must save the planet. This discussion came in because the buying behavior has changed. The consumer from previous 50 years were focused on saving money, looking at the characteristics of the product at the max, looking at if they can afford that. Fine. The new consumer, the millennials or the new generation, is very environmentally aware, is very aware of what is happening in the society. And they want to see, there are many, many companies who are pitching on that particular aspect. They're pitching on the fact that we would sell a product, we would sell a service which does not harm the society, which actually does good to it, and yet fulfills the customer's desires. So all these smart cars that we see, all the new vegan or organic food products that we see, this is all the pitching on the sale idea that when you buy all these utility companies who provide you solar power, they say, by buying our product, you're doing the world a good deed because we try to support and serve and less harm the environment of the world as compared to other products. So the new concept is more, every other company you see in the world right now is talking and shouting about how they're avoiding plastic usage, how they're avoiding waste management, how they're avoiding carbon emissions and all that stuff in there, apart from what they have to solve. So that's a new concept coming up on that. So giving you sort of a diagram into what things are, again, from the very beginning, from the ancient to the very bottom market, and then the new ones coming up then. So just to give you an idea of how things are evolving onwards on that. So, marketing process. What is the process? How do we start? And again, it's very simple, very easy, a few steps. First of all, understand the marketplace, which means the customers. Who are they? What do they want from you? And who are you? What can you give to them? Once you understand what the customers want, you make a strategy which is customer driven. Remember, ancient times, production, product is obsolete now. Customer is important. Listen to what the customers want from you and deliver what you can deliver to them. Construct an integrated marketing program that delivers superior value. Remember, it's not just what the customers want. You always have to think of how would your product give superior value to it. Build profitable relationship. Remember, it's always there's only one purpose of a company to exist. That is to make money. Profitable, but not at the stake of consumers. You have to make money with a happy customer. So build profitable relationship, which means that the customer is willing to come back to you and say, you are worth the money I paid for. And create customer delight, so happy customers. So a happy customer would come back to you all again. And not just that, they spread the word about you. Capture market value for customers to create profits and customer quality. Very important. What is it? The value for customers. What is the customer valuing in you? If you're Primark, the customer value the quantity and pricing. If you're a high-end Marks and Spencers, or even the luxury brand like Louis Vuitton or Versace, okay, they value your exclusivity. So make sure that you understand what the customer value for you on that is. So giving you a diagrammatic explanation, what we just said, what is the value of the customers through building relationships. So from the very beginning, understand the marketplace, customers' needs. Design a strategy that you would be focusing on what the customers want from you. Construct a marketing program that delivers the value. Remember, deliver is because you promised them that. That's a marketing plan. Build a relationship is profitable, and again, capture value. Understand what the customers want in you. For example, the first smartphone, 2007, if I'm not wrong. What did they capture? What is the market feedback about your product? And if you understand what the customers want in my phones, they like apps. They like user-friendly. They like free apps. They like, integrated of different softwares between smartphones and the laptops and the iPads. And then build on that. Understand what the customers liked in your product, what they value in your product, and further improve that for the new product to come in the market. Okay, so to summarize, what is the importance of marketing management? Marketing process brings goods and services to satisfy the needs and wants of the people. It helps to bring new varieties and quality goods to consumers because you're competing all the time. People say, I always say, most of the academics would say, healthy competition is really good for your company because you're always at the beginning of changing something and bring something new in there. By making goods available at all places, it brings equipment distribution. Marketing converts latent demand into effective demand. Again, remember that discussion? You have to convert your wants and desires, or their wants and desires, into their needs, so they need your product. It gives them wide employment opportunities because, if you're doing good marketing, it gets good sales and you have more employability everywhere. It creates time, place, and possession utilities to the products. Efficient marketing results in lower cost of marketing, ultimately lower prices of consumers. Competition. You always are having price wars between the competitors. Studying marketing, this is where we come in. Studying marketing enables a company to be more aware of consumers' needs and wants, and they make better informed decisions what to offer to the target market. So you have to study, understand what is market, what do I need to understand about marketing to be able to address my customers' needs effectively. And that's how important marketing management is. Okay? And we'll be doing this throughout the whole course. How do we manage the marketing mix? The 7 P's of marketing mix. It was 4 P's, in the 80s, then became 3 more P's, which is price, place, product, promotion, physical evidence, people and processes must be managed effectively to give the company a competitive advantage. I'll explain this in my coming lesson. This is the key essence. I'm just giving you a summary of what's coming in the remaining lessons. So 7 P's of marketing mix is extremely crucial. We must look at the efficiency of each of the P's to the optimum output for the company and the consumers. The 7 P's of marketing mix must be integrated and aligned towards the target market. Remember, each of the P, price, place, purport, and so on, should be aimed at how would you target that customer, that particular customer market, and how would they actually be coming towards you to become a loyal customer. And again, it's all about brand communication. The marketing mix activities must work holistically to create value and position. So all the 7 P's must create a bigger picture of what your brand stands for. Should the consumers think you are low cost and hence you are competitive? Should they think you are high premium price but your premium product as well, premium quality as well? So they're very happy to pay for what your price is. Okay, so that's how we do on that. Managing the marketing mix is a complex strategic set of activities that requires careful planning. Remember the first discussion we had in this entire lesson about planning. How do you plan things and execute them and monitor them and how to coordinate between all the 7 P's? A diagrammatic sort of a discussion of how the different 7 P's would actually influence the target market, the brand positioning, and the marketing mix. Again, something that we'll be exploring in detail in the coming few lessons. So, in summary, what have we covered so far? It was introduction. Yes, it was trying to give you a snapshot of what is coming up, so get you more excited. It's about philosophy of business and set of processes for creating, communicating, delivering value to customers, and for managing customer relationships. Marketers like yourself, hopefully, like myself, are skilled at managing demand. We need to convert the wants and desires into needs. They must also understand and try to satisfy customer needs and wants, mindful of the impact of the environment and society by the company. Everyone in the company needs to understand the focus on the customer experience. Remember, it's not just that I am selling a product. It's how the customer experiences us as a company when they interact with us, when when they approach the product, when they exchange money to buy the product, when they consume the product, and when they come back to us for a next sale. Okay. We also discovered the philosophies behind it, from production philosophy to the product to the sales to marketing, and today's is more of a society and environment and looking after responsibly to the world. The states that all elements of the marketing mix should be total and integrated company effort. So, in simple word, it's not a one-off thing. It's an ongoing, continuous process that every company must adhere to, must adopt to. And we explore the details of this whole lesson in the coming few lessons. So that's all from the first lesson, and I'll see you in the second session then. Thank you very much.